They're amputating a part of my labia majora because I don't wipe my ass.
Sorry, what? I'm sorry.
What? Hey, y'all!
I hate that shit. Just a
Welcome back to talk about the taboo. What the fuck is up? There's another person sitting next to me in fucking person. Can you believe that? Someone actually wanted to come over to my house. Guys, I don't smell.
as we just doused ourselves with perfume for each other.
Can you guys smell me through the camera? I think you can. So Sarah is a longtime friend of mine. We've been friends since high school, which is
eighth grade, babe.
That's grade. Middle school, yeah. Middle school, so about 12 years, I'd say, right?
Oh, damn.
I don't do math, so no one correct me on that.
Or it's almost 6 years of us being out of high school. I just did that yesterday. I know, don't give me that face. I'm not the one telling you.
And we are still not doing anything with our lives. No, I'm just kidding. Sarah is a very successful woman. She's like an entrepreneur. She is, amongst being like a dance teacher, she's also just got a job as being a peer. So today she's going to be commenting on Reddit stories with me. And so she does have some, grit to be able to be commenting on these stories. She's also been in a very toxic relationship. So that's something that we are, coping with together.
Kisses to my exes.
Kisses to my exes who don't give a shit about me. So, by the way, disclaimer, dog outside the door. You can hear her. She will be barking. Hopefully you don't give a fuck. Not my problem.
I think she's just jealous that I'm in here with you.
Diamond, you need to go occupy yourself. I did give her a treat. She has water in her bowl. So don't be commenting telling me that I don't treat my dog properly. Anyways.
Oh no, she's a princess. We all know it.
So today we're going to be reading Reddit stories. And as you saw by the title, it's called It's Still Processing. And so what is that? Diamond! What does that mean? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's still processing. Most of these Reddit stories are going to leave you questioning, like, huh? Wait, what did they just do? What did they just say? It's going to be still processing. But there's some inside joke into this title, and I really needed to tell you guys. Actually, I'm going to have Sarah tell you guys what this means. So, Sarah, what does "it's still processing" mean to you?
It's really funny because, it's not even your story. It's mine, but you were there.
Yeah.
So, I was living with my ex at the time.
Oh, I just spilled wine on me.
Clean up. Everybody clean up.
Everybody do your share. Sorry.
So I was living with my ex at the time, and we just recently broke up, and I was still there. I was trying to, pack up, get to where I need to go, and get out of that situation. And he was not so nice. We both know that.
Motherfucker.
Anyways, so we were sitting in my living room. What was it? I just finished your nails or something, or we just finished packing up my closet.
Yeah. It was, we were organizing your closet, and he had just gotten home, so he basically he wanted us to merge out of the bedroom.
Yeah, because he wanted to play his video games. Yeah. Anyways,
no hate to those who play video games, just do it, properly. Diamond.
So we're watching TV, and he walks in nonchalant and goes, how do you get stuff ordered on Target or something? And I was like, oh, okay, I'll show you real fast. And then you can get the fuck out. We don't want you here.
They're together, but they're not.
Huh? I was sleeping on the couch at that point.
Yeah.
So I showed him, he walks out. We continue talking, watching TV. He comes back in with his phone and he goes, when it says it's processing, does that mean it's still processing, or is it on its way? I look at Natalie with this dumbfounded face. I'm like, did he say what I think he just said? I'm like, it means it's not ready, so it's processing. They're processing your order, your payment, and picking the stuff up from the aisle that it's in. He goes, oh, okay, I just wanted to check, and then walks out, and then me and Natalie are just silently laughing because he's in the house. You could hear it. I'm like so stupid. Wait, what?
No, no. But here's the fucking hilarious part. Don't you remember? He goes, "Oh, okay, then I'll leave now."
Yes. He was gonna go to Target and go pick it up when it was still processing, not ready. I'm like, it will tell you when it's ready, like when to go pick it up. And it was like dog food or something.
Yeah, it was dog food. And you know what that did? It left us processing that. Because what the actual fuck?
I'm like, yeah, it's processing.
Question mark?
It's like, now though, like, it's such a simple word. You say it so often, like processing this or like processing this in my mind. And then we're just sitting here like, every time we hear that word, we just burst out laughing because we know exactly what it's about.
Like, this motherfucker, I can't. Like, you cannot make this stuff up.
No. I wish I did. I honestly wish I made that up, but you were there to like corroborate the story. God. And I'm like, now you know what I was living with for almost a year.
An idiot.
Yeah. Actually, we were a year and a half together. Yeah.
With an idiot.
I was processing that whole relationship for a year and a half.
Guys, this is what I mean. She has been in a relationship where he had done some dumb shit. She's been in other relationships. People have done dumb shit. Mm-hmm. You guys all know that I've been in relationships where people have done, not even people, pieces of shit, have done pieces of shit things. And so these stories, some of them will either trigger warning, like may, make you feel some type of way, may remind you of like your past, may make you feel something. And so I just want to let you know that, like, I feel you, girl. I feel you, man. If you've been through something like this, I'm so sorry. Not all of them are that serious, but some of them are like relationship based. And I think there's like a cheating one in here. I'm not sure.
The one thing I do want to say before we even like dive in and like really get into this is, Natalie did say like my job is a peer, and as a peer, I use my lived experience to help others with their life. And it's kind of like a counselor, but like a counselor, they can't say, oh, I understand you fully because I've been through that, where a peer can. And I would just want to say to like everyone who listens to this or like listens to other podcasts as well, and like you feel like they understand you, we get you, we're here, we're giving you real life like lived experience. And
we're being a peer.
You could literally, you could take it. I always say this to my clients, you could take it with a grain of salt, you could take it like a rock, because either way, I'm going to give it to you. The fully, honestly, like truthful parts.
See, the thing is with me, I don't beat around the bush.
No, you can't. You can't when you're giving advice. You can't when you're trying to help someone. You have to be honest. And the person you're trying to help can either take it with a grain of salt or take it with like a rock.
And I'll throw the rock at your face, your boyfriend's face, your ex-boyfriend's face.
Or your ex-girlfriend. Don't leave that out.
Sorry, don't want to be
Girls
sexist.
Can be assholes too.
Girls are. I am. Guys, I could talk for hours. I feel like I have so much internal work to do. And her and I were just talking about this before we pressed record. And how we wish that our boyfriends would fight back.
Oh. Stop. That makes me so upset.
Yeah, she's now in a very, very healthy relationship, in my opinion, as am I. You guys know this shit. But we were talking about arguments.
Oh my God. Don't even get me
started. Tell me, like, there is a such thing as a healthy argument.
Yes.
But when you've been in a toxic relationship, you want an unhealthy argument.
You do. Like, it's almost like you crave it. You know it's wrong. You crave it.
Yeah.
And then when they don't give it to you, you feel satisfied. Yeah. But you're still like, please just give me something back. I need something to grab onto in this.
I need a war.
Yes. Yeah. But like, I can't. I love my man so much. Natalie even said it to a T. Like, I was in really shitty situations, and no one should be put in that situation. If they are, find the help. Your friends see it, listen. Like, we listen, we don't judge. Like, your friends, your family just want to help. And that's one thing I didn't get when I was in that situation until I was out of it. Anyways, I digress.
You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know until you know.
But
1,000%.
Now that we're in these relationships where we are able to be ourselves, we're able to be so free, happy, and like carefree, I think when you get into that moment when you want to fight, it's like you want them to get up here.
Yes.
And you want them to match you. So you can come down and then feel how you were in those bad situations.
You want to be
The victim. Our brainwave is just the same. It's just waving.
Yes, literally. So, like, this is the thing. Both of our boyfriends do not fight back.
No.
They do
My
not fight back.
fights end in laughter.
Yeah, not mine. But
like, we were fighting the one day, and I'm like, we were fighting, arguing. He wasn't really arguing. He was just more like, I understand you.
Disagree.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Like, he was, like, trying to communicate, like, I guess I missed that. Like, how can I work that out? And then he goes, come here, and gives me, like, this big hug, and he starts laughing, so I start laughing. I'm like, you little shit. I know exactly
like,
what you just did.
You want to touch me after we argue?
You want to give me a kiss and a hug and, like, go cuddle?
Yeah.
Dang, I wish I had that earlier.
So, like, listen, guys, we've been into the war. We've been into war. Now we're now settling down, and not like that. We're not married. Anyways,
I mean, if yes.
Sorry, guys, I can't take her serious anymore because she's hugging a penis.
She's
like, she's literally sitting here for comfort.
This is how I get
hug the penis, Sarah.
Okay,
the penis.
I need to, like, touch something, and I don't want to touch you. I don't want to touch you.
So these are actually slippers, guys. Okay, yeah. But it looks like a vagina. That's where the foot goes. It's like a little puppet, but it's also a penis. Thanks to my mom. Yeah.
For the people who are listening on, what is it called?
Spotify.
YouTube. We are putting the slipper penises on our feet, so we can show you guys.
Yeah, you guys have to go to YouTube.
Those are actually really warm.
I know, but they're too big. I can't even walk around the house. All right, I digress.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it, and let's communicate. All right, so the first story is not a Reddit story per se, but it's a story that I took the audio from and typed it up. It's a TikTok story, and the title is, "They are amputating a part of my labia majora because I don't wipe my ass."
What? I'm sorry, what? Well, you said amputate, my head instantly went to, oh, she's losing an arm.
They're amputating a part of my labia majora, which is obviously, you guys know, is the big majority, because I don't wipe my ass. So, to give you the full story, I stopped wiping my ass 2 years ago, and I haven't had any issues with this until just recently I got a yeast infection. Because I never had a yeast infection before, even though I haven't wiped in 2 years, I thought I got a yeast infection from my husband cheating on me, right? Because, like, pH levels, they don't lie. But I went to my gynecologist, who told me that there is a chance the yeast infection actually came from my fecal matter, making it into the wrong hole. But anyway, the reason I had to have a part of my labia majora amputated is because last week I shaved, and it was a dull razor. I was out of razors, so I just used an old one, and it cut me, and I guess because the wound was just open, because I don't believe in first aid or anything like that, the wound was just open, and I guess the fecal matter got in the wound, and it became infected.
Was that the whole fucking story?
Yeah.
I'm still processing. I'm not wiping. Yeah, I'm still processing on that.
No. First of all, okay, listen. Let's be real, guys. All right? You ever go to wipe your ass and you accidentally pull some of your vagina with it?
Yeah. No, that hurts.
And like, it's like right in the back area. Kind of like what.
I feel like I got a fish hook.
Yes!
Someone went fishing and got me right there.
She's got long nails. Probably fish hooks. You know the gooch? Like for a man? Like, that's how I feel for us. Like, when I go to wipe my ass, accidentally, like, I pull some of my the area. Yeah. Ow. And I understand that.
Especially with long nails. That hurts.
But, like, she doesn't wipe her ass at all. So, you ever have diarrhea?
What did you think was going to happen, though? Everything just processed now.
Yeah, she literally is getting her fucking labia majora amputated.
Good for you.
She
like,
cut herself.
You deserved it. Sorry. Okay, no one.
Plastic surgery for labias.
Just remove it off someone else and put it on yours.
I am an organ donor, and I will be donating
my labia.
my labia majora for those who don't know how to wipe their ass.
No, I'm sorry. Okay, no one deserves anything like that, but no. My mom, God bless her soul.
What?
If she's not dead. She's not dead. Oh my god, she's not dead. I say that because she raised me, and me as a person is just every which way from Sunday. My mom always said, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Mm-hmm. You played a stupid game, babe, and you won a major stupid prize.
Like, what the actual fuck?
Wipe your butt. Wipe your butt, people.
I have this argument. So people who have big asses, you have to learn how to wipe your ass properly. You need a bidet. Like, bidets are expensive, but you do need a bidet.
You can get one of those squirt ball things, a douche.
Yes. Yeah, but don't douche your ass. I don't believe in douching.
No, don't put anything there.
This you know, when you have a child, I don't have a child, but I know when you're after you have a child, you have to use these spray bottles that like squirt very soft water up there. You can use one of those and help yourself. You can also use, my mom told me that you can use baby powder to, sometimes you have hair in your ass. If you don't wax your asshole, a lot of the smell gets trapped up in there. Okay. And you can just like put some powder on there and it will help the poop get off, and then you have to like wipe yourself after it. Like, being a human is so disgusting, but not wiping your ass is just on another level.
No, I know. You know this person too, but I promised. Never mind. You know what? I'm not even going to say anything about who it is or how we know this person, but I know this person who showers every single time they use the bathroom, like poop. Yeah. Claps to them. Yeah. Because I can't hop in every time I take a shit. Like,
me either. I'm lazy.
There's times where I'm like, you know, I'm a wipe until I feel satisfied. I don't see anything. I'll use a wipey.
Yep, same.
But like,
that's why
props to them. They are doing great. I will purchase a bidet for you.
Okay, but like, what about pooping in public? How the fuck are you supposed to shower then?
Yeah, that's like the one downside of it, and that's where like, get a douche, get a portable bidet. There are things like that for people. Like, there are certain, like,
bring a spray bottle.
That's
into the bathroom.
Well, there are certain communities out, like, not in like the northern hemisphere, like some in the southern hemisphere, and like on the other side of the world, that use bidets and have like portable bidets in their purses because they really don't use toilet paper or wipies. That's not a thing in their country.
I'd rather use.
I actually heard a story about that. It's like, that's what they do. They like have a shower and like they use bidets like that.
Because first of all, it's better for the environment.
Yes, that.
And also better for your body because you're irritating your butt.
Like, not even that, you're irritating your vagina too. I also just learned you should be using wipes on your vagina, not toilet paper, because toilet paper gets attached. Yep. You can't see it, and that can also harbor bacteria.
And then
so I've been
shave and then
TMI, but I've been using wipes lately. I've been rarely but I've been rarely using TP, and there's actually like water wipes that are hygienic, that don't harbor.
Are they biodegradable?
Bacteria. Yeah, they're biodegradable.
That's good.
They're just water wipes. They're on Amazon for like $30 for like 5 to 6 packs.
Wow,
like they're pretty good.
See, and we should really send this woman a package of wipes. You know what I mean? What do you think?
Can you like,
hey girl, I saw your TikTok, and I just wanted to let you know.
How's your surgery going?
Did you know? Did you fucking know, guys? And I have a gynecologist coming on my show on in March, okay? Who, I know, right? And I'm gonna ask him these specific questions, but one of which is a question my mom brought up, is that in menopause, you lose your labia majora. It'll shrink. It shrinks right up, and you no longer have a labia majora. My mom saw a video about it, then she sent me like an article about it, but I want to ask a gynecologist, is this true or is this just a myth?
Okay, find that out for me, and then when we hit menopause, that is the only time I'm gonna be like, okay, hold the mirror, I want to see. Like, I want to see.
Is it going yet? Did I lose my vagina yet?
Did I lose the reason why some of us have sex?
Literally. So just so you guys know, just have sex while you can. Have your person lick your labia majora while it lasts.
Safely, please. Safely.
Yeah, definitely. Please
get tested.
Get tested.
Make sure you both are tested. Make sure it is. If they don't want the tea, don't give them the tea. Thank you.
Oh, and by the way, wipe your ass.
Wipe your ass while you're at it.
Ask the person if they wipe their ass, because apparently this person didn't, and if you would have had sex with them, you would have gotten the infection inside your pee hole if it's a male having a sex with her, and you would have gotten the infection.
Men can get UTIs.
Yes, they can.
And your sheets might be a little dirty.
Oh my god, I got a story to tell you.
Oh god.
Wait, I think I told you this
story.
No,
it's someone from the past.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So someone from the past. This is a poop story, and I'm gonna tell it. Someone from my past, I happen to have sex with, okay? And this is so disgusting. And he wanted me to...
I'm so happy I didn't eat.
I'm trying to tell this in the best way without like giving away their person. He wanted me to put a dildo up his ass because he's like, oh, you're a sex coach. You know what you're doing. You know where my G-spot is. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Now, mind you, I've never done this before. And so I, put, the lube on it and stuff like that. It was very dark. It was very late at night. And I go ahead and use like my thumb and my fingers as well to like warm him up. Doing what's normal. He says that he was liking, he was feeling good. I was feeling his gooch, whatever. Mind you, it is dark in here. It is dark.
At nighttime. Nighttime fun.
Nighttime fun. You know what I mean? He's feeling good. He's doing good. He says to be a little bit less like rough. I'm like, awesome. I got you. Next morning, I have to drive him home because he was coming. He was from out of state, and then I drive him home. Then I drive myself back home, and I have to clean up the room as like we got home really, really late, and I needed to clean. So I clean, and I go to look on my bed sheets. There was brown stuff on my bed sheets. Yeah, and so I was like, oh my god, I get my period. Did he make me bleed? Oh god. So then I, clean up the sheets, put them in the washer, go into the bathroom. I have to pee. I go to pee, then I go to flush. And on the toilet handle is a chunk of poop. And I couldn't handle it. I was like, oh my fucking god, this motherfucker went to the bathroom and had poop on his own hand too. And oh my god. And so then I go to wash my hands and I notice this brown stuff under my thumbnail. He had shit so far up his ass and my thumb scraped it out for him. Yeah.
Wow.
And he told me to never talk about that ever again. And here I am talking about it.
So we're talking about it now.
Yeah, because the fuck?
No, that's a story that you share with everyone but that person.
Correct. But I'm not going to say who it is. That's his privacy. But God, that was interesting. I am all for butt stuff for other people, but I don't think it's for me. Just based off my experience of that. Have you ever shoved your finger up a man's butthole?
No.
Will you ever?
Mm-mm. Okay. I have a very weird thing about butts.
Yeah.
I'm a very exit-only person.
Yep.
And for myself and other people.
What about around it? Like having the tongue around it?
Sorry to anyone who knows me and like is family to me and listens to this.
She's not sorry.
I'm not. My ex-fiance, we communicated and he was like, I want to try this. You can let me know if we just never do it again. Yeah. I'm like, okay, whatever. So we get into it. We're having fun. He's like, I want to try it now. I'm like, okay. Like I was standoffish at first. He goes, it's just a try. Like we never have to do this again. I'm like, so I felt confident in the fact of like, plus I already took a shower. Like I felt clean enough that I was comfortable. So in doggy, butt cheeks spread way apart. He did a whole thumb around the outside and then went in for it.
With his thumb?
No.
With his dick?
His tongue.
Okay. I like
so
that.
Then I was like,
the tongue I'm okay with.
He did one circle. I was like, please do not ever do that
like
again. I think it was the fact that I was so mentally involved in it.
Yeah.
That I could not physically enjoy it.
Yep.
So, like, just that whole mental part of it, I
Mhm.
just could not ever try it again. I knew exactly what it was. I knew what was going on, what it looked like. I never wanted to do it again. Like, in my brain,
Mhm.
all I saw was that insidious centipede where, like, the sewn in, like, the mouth sewn into the butthole. Like, that's all I saw.
The human centipede?
Yes. That's, like, what I saw when he was doing it. And I was like, stop. And then at that point, this gets even funnier.
Oh god.
He gets back on top, whatever.
Yeah.
We're trying to finish up. And then all of a sudden you see the door creak open a little bit. And his Shih Tzu dog, his little dog, jumps up on the bed. And you know, it's happened before. We just kept going, like, it's a dog. We push him off the bed or like finish up real quick and like get back to it. He's going, right? He looks me dead in my face and he goes, Sarah, my dog is smelling my ass right now.
I've been there, done that.
And I go, get the fuck off of me. Like, I just say that. No one finished that day. We got off, we got a shower, we laid in bed like we were like just what do you call it? Like caught or something. Like we were staring at the TV, no motion, not even touching each other.
You were processing it.
We were processing the fact that he just leaned over while he's inside of me going, the dog is smelling my ass. Just so calmly. Like it's normal. I'm like, that's not fucking normal.
And that, folks, this is not a case of kiss me after you lick me.
Nope.
I
refuse to let him after that.
That would be.
I was like, no, you need to like brush your teeth,
don't be
wash
putting
your
shit
mouth.
in my mouth. No, like literally. Don't be.
No, like I knew I was clean, so I was fine with it. But like, even though I couldn't see anything, like it was bright enough where I could see his face. Like I knew there was nothing on his face. I just mentally needed him to brush his teeth, wash his face, and like wash specifically around his mouth. Like I know how big my butt was. How big my butt is, so like I made him like wash his cheeks down. Like
yes, anytime after giving oral of any kind, you should be using mouthwash and brushing your teeth, especially people who have very sensitive JJs like me, or mouth. Like I will end up getting like acne. It's a whole thing. But anyways, we digress.
We move on.
I'll leave you processing that one. We're gonna do the next one. The next one is a Reddit story. Okay.
Oh yay.
And it is from the subreddit called Today I Fucked Up, which I just found out what TIFU means. I had to have her Google what that meant. To be
so fast. What does that mean on Reddit?
Like full disclosure. And the title is Today I Fucked Up by Throwing My Steak Out a Window. What? See, guys, that's what I mean. Like, it's going everywhere.
I have so many questions, but like,
I know. That's
we'll find out. Like, what height was the window? What kind of steak it was? Was it cooked correctly? How much was it? Because I probably would not have thrown it out the window.
Right? To me. Anyways, okay. Last night, my wife's boss from her brand new job invited us over for dinner. On the drive over, my wife reiterated many times to me just how important it was to make a good impression. I scoffed and arrogantly informed my silly wife that I always make good impressions. My wife's boss is a single lady in her 50s, so it was just the three of us. We chit-chatted over drinks and salads and seems to really be hitting it off. She laughed at my timid, perfectly appropriate jokes, and my wife seemed pleased. Soon she brought out the main course, a nice, big, juicy steak for each of us. As I began to cut into my steak, I was discouraged to discover how undercooked the steak was. Now, I've had my fair share of rare steak. I prefer medium, but I can handle rare. This was several minutes on a hot grill short of rare. I probably could have rejuvenated a cow if I tried to like actually like make it's living, basically is what he's saying. Instead, I sat there fidgeting with my knife and fork, worrying about how I was going to get away with not eating this steak. Claim veganism? No. I'd already feigned great enthusiasm upon seeing the steak. Just then, our hostess excused herself to the kitchen to take care of some dessert preparations. As I looked across the fancy dining room table at the open window of this third-story apartment, a cartoon light bulb appeared over my head. I knew I had to be decisive, realizing that she could return at any moment. I committed. I grabbed the steak with my hand, gently shook off the juice, ew, the blood, and executed a perfect throw right through the center of the open window. Here's the big time fuck up. The window wasn't open. It was the cleanest frickin' window you've ever seen in your life. That is, until my mostly raw slab of a steak slammed up against it and slowly slid down, leaving a trail of bloody juice in its wake. My wife, whose steak was nice, medium rare, and was unaware of my predicament, turned, jaw dropped, and stared at me like I was an alien from another planet. This look then slowly morphed into a more "there's no place on this planet you could ever hide from me" expression of demonic anger. My wife's boss heard the thud. Heard the thought of the steak on the window impact and came quickly. She took in the scene, the steak sitting on the windowsill, the bloody trail, my empty plate, and then gave me an inquisitive, puzzled look. I just didn't know what to say. It felt like a minute of silence, but was probably 3 or 4 seconds. Finally, the best I could imagine was, I am so sorry. I am such a klutz. I don't know. I was just cutting it and it just slipped. Just ask my wife. I really am a klutz. Right, honey? No help coming from that direction. I'll clean this up. I can't believe this. I'm so sorry. Both women continued to stare at me like I had escaped from the loony bin as I smeared the blood around the window with my cloth napkin, dusted off the steak, and continued to mutter my incoherent explanation. I knew no one was buying the story. I knew what I had to do. I sheepishly returned to my seat and proceeded to eat every bite of that disgusting, cold, chewy, bloody, raw steak. I remained pretty quiet the rest of the evening. My wife's only 2 words to me since the incident are, "I'm fine." I tried sneakily to throw my undercooked steak through an open window, only to find out it wasn't open, which is like a little teaser for the rest of the people. That's what the comments. Anyways, that's it. This took a turn.
I had a feeling that like this was gonna go. He threw it out the window and it landed on his car, and his wife saw it after. But that was a turn. That's all process.
You threw the fucking steak out the window, not checking the seat. How about you get up for a second, make sure the window's open, and then throw it out the window? And then here's the thing: are you in a city? Like, what if you throw it out the window and it hits somebody in the fucking head?
Let's back up a little bit. Let's take the whole throwing it out the window situation out, because no matter what, she's gonna come back and see you ate the whole entire steak in the 5 minutes she was gone.
Yeah, that's true.
Why don't you say, "Hey, I'm sorry. I really enjoy my steak this way.
Yeah.
Is there a way I can like heat it up? Is there a way like I can just throw it on the grill for a little bit?" Like, there's so many ways to get out of eating something like that. That is so much better than throwing it out of the window. Like, that is so extreme. That is unhinged. That is unhinged behavior.
It's still processing behavior.
Like,
what's the actual fuck?
The Looney Tunes light bulb. I saw that.
Yeah, I know. The Looney Tunes light bulbs.
I knew exactly.
Oh, I have an idea.
Just throw it out the window.
Let's take the steak and throw it out the window. That seems like a real great one. This makes fucking sense. Let's look at the comments now.
Oh my god.
One question, OP. Let's say the window is open and the steak is gone. She returns a minute later. What do you tell her? That you devoured it? Just like you asked.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, the steak was so good I shoved it down my throat and I'm not choking.
How big was the steak? Was it like a T-bone or something?
I don't know. It doesn't specify. It said it says just a juicy steak. Yeah, it doesn't say.
So he was saying, okay, basically what he was saying was that his steak was blue.
Yeah, basically, like really like full of blood. You ever go to a restaurant and they like don't cook it right? How do you take your steak?
Medium rare. Like, I kind of like it on the rare
I like
side,
medium.
but I want it cooked. I don't want it like leather, like brown in the inside. No, I like a nice pink. I'm very picky with my steak. I will not eat it if it's any sort of way.
I don't like the blood. This person commented, "Now you know exactly what to do the next time you encounter a rare steak. Step 1, Ask yourself, what is more important, your dignity or the chance to enjoy the steak? One of the man's finest substances to your liking. If dignity, go to step 5 and stay there. If steak, good choice. Proceed to the next step. Step 2, drop it by accident, hurling, and close the window. What is this person saying? Step 3, apologize profusely and feign a lack of motor skills. So I know it because I have Tourette's. I can be like, oh, it was my Tourette's acting up. I'm so sorry. and then proceed to grab my wife's steak and throw it too.
If we ever go out together and I don't like my food, I'm gonna be like, Natalie, your Tourette's is acting up. It's not good. Not good, Natalie.
True story. I was hanging out with, she's not my friend anymore, unfortunately, but first time hanging out with this girl, and I'm eating my steak, and I do have Tourette's, and it flings out of my hand, and it ends on the floor, and I wonder if I have a picture, I'll put it up here if I do, and the server, like, just like the woman we're staring at, her husband, and then the guest or whatever, she was like, and I have to stare up at her. I'm like, I have Tourette's. I'm so sorry. Can I have another one? And I was just like 2 bites in. She goes, yeah. And so walks away, and I'm so fucking embarrassed because she just put down the sandwich. I went to go take a bite, and I was just nervous hanging out with a new friend, and it flung out of my fucking hand. So you know what? He definitely could have claimed a lack of motor skills.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That leaves me still processing. 10 minutes later, still killing these germs, honey. Oh my god, these comments. This story was funny as hell, but this is the first thing that occurred to me. I've grilled hundreds of steaks for friends and family, and if I give a rare one to someone who prefers well done, I'm never offended if they ask me to throw it back on the grill for a bit. However, it could also just be one of those weird, why the hell did I even do that decisions? I've had a few of those in my time as well. Yeah, like sometimes you just like do stuff off of the like, you know, like, oh, fuck. Like, you didn't think about, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, sometimes if you're mean to your partner and you're like, oh, why did I say that? Like, that type of stuff.
Definitely.
We digress.
We move onward and upward.
Just speak up like an adult.
We move upward like your steak.
Anyways. The next story is on the same subreddit. Today I fucked up. And the title is, Today I fucked up by stuffing my face with edibles before dinner with my wife's parents.
Okay.
Have you ever taken an edible before going out and you're like, oh,
no,
fuck.
I took an edible. I took an edible at my Nana's house. My Nana before she passed away.
Yeah.
So we were all at her house, like my dad's side of the family.
Okay.
Little kids were there. So this is so bad. Don't ever do this. I should have never done this.
Don't do this at home, kids.
We were taking they're not little like toddlers. They're like they were 8 and 6 at the time.
Okay.
So we were just taking them out, like letting them ride their bikes while the parents were inside playing poker. My brother, I love him. I love him so much, but he is like that instigator. Mm-hmm. He's always been an instigator. Mm-hmm. And he's like, here, take it. Like, it was like, I don't know, like have a beach ring or something. Didn't tell me like how much grams it was, like how potent it was, like nothing. He just like, here, have a pink drink. I knew what it was. I'm like, oh, I've had one of his before. Like, it only gets me to like that cusp of like, I feel good. I'm not acting crazy. Yeah. My eyes won't change or something. So I take it. Nothing happens after 30 minutes. So I'm like, it's probably like a dud. It's probably old, like whatever. So we take the kids back inside, and now they're sleeping because it's later at night. Parents are started playing poker. We went to dinner previously. It was for my grandmother's birthday. So I was like, damn, I'm hungry. Take my leftover out of my grandmother's fridge. Didn't even heat it up, mind you. It was like this cold ass shrimp scampi.
Ew, and it was shrimp.
God, and I took it out. I started devouring it from the table. Like, I was in the kitchen. My brother was in the living room. And where I was sitting at the table, you can only see where my brother was sitting.
Yeah.
You can't see anything else because of the doorway, the way it's set up. I look up. He looks at me. He goes, like, nods his head up. And that's exactly when I know it's hitting him. So I'm like, shit, it's gonna hit me. And then I realize it's already hit me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
you know what? It's better to have
No.
like the fucking snackies and nubs when you're high off an edible rather than a panic attack.
yes.
Because
That's also a
those
reason why I
shits-
stopped smoking is because I get
Yeah.
panic attacks, and plus for my job I can't, which is good. Like, I love my job. I don't think my job was the reason why I stopped. It was more of the panic attacks. But anyways,
let's see if this guy had a panic attack, the nums, or what. Let's see. Okay, so just to reiterate, today I fucked up by stuffing my face with edibles before dinner with my wife's parents. Recently, I traveled to Denver, Colorado with my wife and my wife's parents. As a resident of a non-legalized state and as someone who is too much of a pussy to regularly buy illegal drugs, the thing I was looking forward to most was the chance to buy fancy legal weed. What could possibly go wrong?
So many things.
So the first thing I do upon arriving, and after successfully ditching the in-laws, is drag my wife to a nearby dispensary for a shopping spree. Oh, my God. It was just like my dreams. Tons of different options in a neat little sample jars and a team of helpful stoners walking me through the various strains. Are you looking for a mellow body high? Or do you want something that gives you a bit more of a pep and energy? Or are you just hoping for something light to take the stress off? Yes, yes, and yes, I reply eagerly, like a fat kid in a candy store, and request an 1/8 ounce of about 7 different options. In hindsight, if I learned anything from this experience, is that my math and science teachers never taught me basic information, like what is an ounce or how much weed can a person consume in a single weekend. I can relate to that. Sure, I can tell you when 2 speeding trains leaving separate stations will collide or recite, but it turns out that none of that information is particularly relevant to getting high in a responsible and efficient manner. And it was at this dispensary that I also learned that you can't actually smoke in public places, including the hotel that my wife and I were staying at. As a result, before leaving, I begged my wife to buy some edibles that I could munch on or until we found a place to properly get lit. After expressing shock as to how absurd the volume of drugs that we were buying, unlike me, she is the product of a private school and understands the imperial measurement system. She relents, and we walk out of the store with what felt like a dump truck of weed, plus a small package of seemingly unconscious, I don't know what the fuck, ginger snap cookies. Okay, so the edible is a ginger snap cookies. Moving on. When we finally get back to the hotel room, I tear those bad boys open, only to find about a dozen tiny cookies roughly the size of a quarter. What the fuck, Denver? Seeking the skepticism and hunger in my eyes, my wife warns me that I should go easy and look at the back of the package before trying one. Doe size, half cookie, I read silently as I start taking micro bites from the edges like a giant chinchilla gawning on a sunflower seed. What kind of savage only eats half a cookie? So a second later, I covertly popped the remainder into my mouth. And then I quickly stuck another 2 cookies in my mouth for good measure, the moment my wife turns her back. We may not have legal weed back home, but I routinely devour an entire package of cookies in one sitting without breaking a sweat. Your move, tiny ginger snaps. About 30 minutes later, we are in the backseat of her parents' rental car on the way to dinner. And that's when things start to go tits up. My stomach growls loudly and angrily. My wife looks at me with inquisitive eyes that seem to say, diarrhea? Oh my God. But I merely clutch my tummy and mumble something about altitude sickness. What is this guy talking about? You didn't eat a whole cookie, did you? She asks. 10% in genuine concern and 90% in seething irritation. Of course not, I respond, avoiding eye contact for the remainder of the car ride. A few minutes later, we are climbing out of the parents' rental car and heading into some trendy farm-to-table restaurant. I don't remember how I made it to my seat, and I don't remember even looking at the menu, but I do remember the concerned look on the waiter's face as he asked me if I was doing all right. Keep it together, man, I say to myself. But my wife's sudden groan suggests that I may have also said that to the waiter. Things are going downhill fast. The waiter nods sympathetically, takes our orders, and then heads to the next table. The moment he walks away, my wife is staring daggers at me, and I start to worry that the jig is up. You are sweating from your entire face, she says, with both pity and disgust. Not quite knowing what to do, I reach for my napkin and proceed to blot my cheeks, nose, neck, chin, and forehead. Damn. At this point, my wife's mom looks over at me with some concern. Are you all right? She asks kindly. Yeah, the food's just a bit spicy, I reply, far too quick to realize that we had literally just ordered and there was nothing on the table except for a basket of dinner rolls. My wife kicks me under the table to grab my attention. Bathroom. And now, she hisses, get it together. I reluctantly get up from the table and head to the toilet. After splashing several handfuls of water on my face, I approach a urinal and start to pee. Now, one of the more disconcerting effects of those tiny ginger snap monsters is the feeling that time has become untethered from reality. As I am peeing, I start to get the very unsettling feeling that I have been taking a piss for the better part of an hour and that my wife must be pacing around the restaurant worried about me. But deep down, I know that is absurd. I've been peeing all my life, sometimes multiple times a day. I've probably taken more than 50,000 leaks, and it usually only takes about a minute to the most. So given that my typical pee is no more than 60 seconds, and given that it feels like I'm about a halfway done, that means that I probably only been standing here for about 30 seconds, right? But the guy at the end of the urinal next to me doesn't respond, and instead starts to shuffle away from midstream like a startled penguin. I try to bother him, but I was unsuccessful to break eye contact. Oh, he's typoed there. After finally finishing, I again splashed some water on my face and returned to my seat, making sure to apologize to the table for being gone such a long time, just in case my mouth was off. Next, I tried briefly to engage in small talk with my wife's father, but I am far too high to understand what either of us is saying. Not wanting to start laughing uncontrollably at the wrong moment, or really at any moment, I figure the safest idea is to nod my head periodically and drink a ton of water. Nothing cures mental fatigue like water, right? To my wife's horror, I stand up, grab my water glass, and thrust it out to the waiter, who unfortunately is on the opposite side of the restaurant. But he turns out to be really cool, and after making his way over to the table, he tells me that he'll do my best to keep me stocked with ice water for the rest of the meal. He also helpfully suggests that if the dinner rolls aren't too spicy for me, I should probably eat one or two so that I'm not sitting there on an empty stomach. Smart man. However, after going through all of the bread on the table and 3 glasses of water, I start to worry that I need actual food to offset the growing paranoia from those tiny ginger snap devils. Do you think I should flag down the waiter again and ask what's taking so long? I suggest, helpfully to my wife. What? We literally just ordered 3 fucking minutes ago. And at the exchange, my wife loses her cool. How many cookies did you eat? She demands. Oh, easy there. I respond, somewhat horrified at her outburst. I had a few cookies, but keep it down. I don't want your parents to know how fucked up I am right now. Really? They are sitting 2 feet away from you. They know. I look up and for the first time notice both of my in-laws just staring at me for what literally felt like an eternity. There's an edit. Wow, thanks everyone for all the love and even for some of the hate. I think I've officially peaked in life. Oh my God.
Oh.
I know that feeling of the complete panic. When you take an edible, I took an edible even when you're home, okay? There's a proper environment to like do shrooms, to do edibles. Smoking, on the other hand, is a little bit different, but edibles just like hit you a lot differently. There's chemicals in edibles. So I took an edible like out and about, and I completely like my heart's pounding. What he's talking about, like you don't know what other people are saying, like you're in complete shock. Like I totally know that feeling. And then I took in one here where I'm just like, oh God, get me out, get me out, get me out. So he was like trapped and trying to like play it cool, and then how the timestamps don't line up, like time feels like it's forever. Oh my God, I can relate.
Not even with edibles. That happens with actual like weed or dab pens, whatever you're taking.
Not for me that much.
For me, yes. Like I said, I haven't smoked in months, almost a year, actually.
Congrats, girl.
I know. You know, this is also why I do want to educate some people who do smoke weed. Never gonna knock it. Mm-hmm. You know, live your life, live la vida loca. I don't care. But I do want to educate when it comes up.
Yeah.
And when I recently got into my new job and like did all the trainings, it does change your chemical makeup in your brain.
Makes you a little alert.
Not even that. It stops receptors in your brain. It does.
By like understanding information, you're saying?
Understanding information, comprehension, like anything. It can stop almost anything. And it can really, it changes your brain makeup.
I feel dumb on weed, so.
That's what it is. It changes the brain makeup.
Like sometimes,
like the gray matter, white matter, I don't know, whatever matters in your brain.
Does it matter?
It does it. But it changes
you know what
it.
It does? It hinders your processing.
Yes. You can't process.
fuck, you know?
When you're smoking weed, always use that processing wheel that computers have. Still processing.
Mind you, at the story that we told you at the beginning of this episode, we were both smoking, like, out of the pen. Remember? We were smoking out of the pen.
Yes.
Yeah. So we were also not processing, but apparently we did know what a target order meant.
We were responsibly, because you could get unresponsible with it and you could be responsible with it, and we were responsibly partaking in the smoking.
And then we were speaking to an idiot.
Who was not smoking. He doesn't smoke.
Yeah, his receptors were just broken at birth.
Yeah. A lot of them were.
Oh my god. Anyways, we digress. Please smoke responsibly. Take like edibles responsibly.
Like a beer commercial. Drink responsibly. Smoke responsibly.
You know those
inject responsibly.
Drive high, get pulled over. Like there's like these like sayings now.
Yes.
Yeah, their whole thing.
Do everything responsibly. End it there.
Or a little like be a little bad too sometimes.
Be a little
that's
baddie.
fun. But don't drink and drive, fuckers.
No, don't do that, please.
Ugh. Okay.
It's scary. You can lose your license.
Yeah. DUI. Okay, I'm gonna give you a choice. We have a lot of stories, but we can only do probably like 3 more.
Okay.
But I'm gonna give you a choice. Okay.
Let me fix my butt. Okay, now I'll go.
So the first choice. Am I the asshole for keeping my ex's stuff? Second. Am I the asshole for telling my best friend's husband she's cheating on him? Third. Am I the asshole for yelling at my pregnant sister-in-law and telling my husband to choose me or her? Fourth. Am I the asshole for leaving a dinner party after a girl sat on my husband's lap?
3 and 4 are like...
I know. We can do 2. You can choose 2.
Yeah, 3 and 4. If I can choose 2, 3 and 4, please.
Okay, husband's lap first, or my husband... I told my husband to choose me or her.
Husband lap first, because I kind of want to get angry and then I want to come down a little bit.
The husband.
Because I don't fight at home.
right, yeah. Let's get rowdy here.
Let's get rowdy because I don't have this at home.
This is a huge one, and there is an update. So we'll do our best here.
We'll read that, digress, and we'll read the update.
Seriously.
We'll process, and then we'll read the update and process that.
Am I the asshole for yelling at my pregnant sister-in-law and telling my husband to choose me or her? See, I know the title sounds wrong, but please hear me out. I am currently typing this all up while my husband's entire family is sitting downstairs. So, I, 29 female, have been married to my husband. What'd you do?
Oh, fuck.
Anyways, I've been married to my husband for 8 years. About 2 months ago, I had my 3rd miscarriage at 31 weeks. I won't be talking about it because it makes me feel so depressed, but you'll need to remember this. But 4 months ago, my sister-in-law, 20, came crying at our doorstep telling us she's pregnant and her boyfriend didn't want anything to do with the pregnancy and nowhere to go. My husband and I openly took her in, welcomed her into our home with open arms. For the first few weeks, it was really hard for her, understandably. I sat with her for hours, holding her when she cried, binging our favorite TV shows, eating so much ice cream, we literally fell into a coma. It was really bonding for us, so I thought, here's where it starts to go downhill. I take pride in my neat, clean home. My sister-in-law, on the other hand, did not. She would leave her clothes all around the house, leaving her dirty dishes wherever, even went as far as leaving her sex toys on our living room table. Ew.
There's boundaries need to be had.
Okay. I tried to talk to her directly before I talked to my husband. She immediately started crying and told me she should try to be cleaner. I hugged her and told her it was okay, but this is a clear boundary for me. She told me it wouldn't happen again, but only it got worse. She told me I was expected to do her laundry, dishes, and clean her room daily because she's the pregnant one. Well, I do understand how hard it is being pregnant. I just couldn't allow feeling like a maid in my own home. Disclaimer, I bought this house and not my husband. It was all me. Not to mention my recent loss of my child. So I told my husband, but what he told me shocked me. His exact words were, honey, she's going through a lot right now. We really should be helping her out. Plus, it might make you feel better to take care of someone who's pregnant. I was pissed, to say the least. Make me feel better? She's going through a lot? We need to help her? Letting her stay with us wasn't enough? Well, I don't want to be invalidating to her pain. My husband and I were also going through our own problems. Anyways, we moved on. I did my best to maintain work and the household chores. My husband works 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., so he isn't around to help much. I work full-time from home, so it's been super stressful. When I even try to ask for help from my sister-in-law, she always makes an excuse, even if she's just watching TV. The one thing that pushed me over the edge was I went out to buy me some food that I have actually enjoyed eating after my miscarriage. I wrote my name on it and directly asked my sister-in-law to not eat it. Well, I went to go to my fridge to get it, and you'll never guess, she freaking ate it. Now, you may think, it's just food. I buy all the groceries, basically pay all the bills. I don't mind people having some of my food, but the one thing I asked to not be touched gets touched. I told my husband, and of course he rubbed it in my face, that she's pregnant. I need to be less selfish, and life is about sacrifices. Bitch, that's my food. Anyways, I was so upset, I told him I felt like him and her were the horrible roommates people talk about on Reddit. He didn't take that well. LOL. Which leads us to my title. My sister-in-law planned a random baby shower party thing at my house. I personally didn't know if I could even be home when this was happening. I felt so hurt that she wouldn't talk to me knowing everything that has happened and that she would just invite random strangers into another person's home before asking. My husband urged me to go, told him it would be permanently affect me and her relationship. So I told him I'd go. Fine. About halfway through the party, my husband and sister-in-law announced that they, I lost my fucking train of thought. About halfway through the party, my husband and sister-in-law announced that they wanted to show the nursery to everyone. I was confused. Nursery? She was staying that long? What room did she turn into a nursery? They told everyone to head upstairs, and that is when it hit me. They were talking about my nursery for my baby that I had just lost. A wave of emotions hit me when I saw everyone in my baby's nursery telling her what a good job they did setting it up. My setup for my baby that my body failed to give me. I just lost it. I started sobbing. Then that sadness turned into pure rage. I started yelling at my sister-in-law, right? Telling her she's the foulest human for putting me through everything she has. Oh my God, for the last few months, making me feel like I was a maid or an object for her convenience. Through choked up tears, I turned to my husband, whose jaw was on the floor. I turned my head to see his entire family just staring at me. I lost it again, yelling. I looked at my sister-in-law, telling her how dare she use my nursery from my baby. How dare she think that she has the right. What she told me made me fall onto my knees sobbing. It's not my fault you couldn't produce a child. Why let this go to waste? You're so selfish. My husband tried to pick me up off the floor, the poor dick, but I yelled again, standing to my knees, which were now shaking. I told him, pick a dumbfounded look on his face, and I yelled, pick me or her. He couldn't even muster up anything to say. I just looked at him, pure betrayal. I pushed past the crowd of family and ran straight up here to type this out. Even if no one sees this, at least it's helped me let these emotions out. Now, it's the point where I ask, am I the asshole?
Fuck no. Fuck no. You know what happened? The husband had the baby with the girlfriend. Or the sister. Wait, is it his sister?
It's his sister! I hope not.
Incest? No.
I hope not.
Oh my, I don't know if you could see me. To the people who can't see me, if you hear this noise right here,
It's a little dick.
I am shaking it and strangling
She's
it
shaking
because
it,
I am
remember.
so upset for this woman. And I don't know if you heard this.
Yeah.
I'm hitting it on my knees because wow.
Are you fucking kidding?
My jaw was dropped the entire time, and I was like literally holding on to the slipper penis for dear life because my hands would have been throwing.
This is okay.
That's so aggravating.
This was a common case of no one knows how to take accountability besides obviously like the wife. There's no reason to take accountability, but like where it's like that push and pull where you have, in-laws and, you're trying to like be on their best side and make sure that they're people please, be there. Because if you're there for your husband's family, then he's there for you, vice versa. And you want to be accepted.
Yes.
But like,
There are boundaries to be had, though.
She start with the sex toys on the table. That's just disgusting.
Well,
and she's pregnant, just like fucking herself. Like, cool, that's great. I love that. Like, that's awesome. But like, privacy. Privacy.
not even just that. Not even just that. Like, Jake and I. My boyfriend and I are planning on moving in together. Very recent. And it's coming up soon. And I told him, I was like, I am happy to have an open door policy. I love, seeing people, seeing family, friends, whatever. But there are boundaries to be had with that. Do not take advantage of it, because I will happily take it away.
Yeah, they're not staying there for months on end. And you didn't even just sit down and discuss with your wife that your sister was going to be using your baby that passed away's nursery that you guys both built together out of your heart?
That right there. The husband knew he just lost a baby, but now is projecting the fact that he wanted a baby on his sister. That is mental incest. Mentally incestual.
It is. It's like
that is
silently
disgusting.
Seduced. Like, not seduced, but like the incest where it's like that what you just said, mental incest.
Mental incest.
That's a perfect way to put it.
Because yes, he just lost a baby and there's ways to cope with it, but he's projecting
his hurt
onto his sister because she's pregnant.
You're so right. And he wants to be a father figure so bad.
Yes. He's going to do it to that baby.
Do it to the baby.
If she doesn't build boundaries now and say, no, that is not going to be her nursery. She needs to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
That is what's going to happen for sure. 100%. Yeah.
Holy fuck. Do you want to hear the update?
I don't even know. Yeah, I do.
Oh my God.
This
the nursery
bruised. This penis might get bruised.
It's okay. All right. So, update. Sorry for any typos or misspelt words. I'm not quite sure if this is the proper way to do an update, but hopefully everyone can see it. First, I just want to address a few comments. You can skip this part if you don't care, lol. I know I had a stillborn. The only reason I say miscarriage is because that is what my obstetrician told me told me what was happening. Second off, some people have been saying the story is fake because of the way I described the argument. Falling to my knees, pure betrayal. Yes, I figured I spelt it wrong. I can assure you it's not. I cannot make everyone believe me, but this is my life, so you can either think it's fake or not. Here's the update everyone's been asking for. Buckle up for this one. It's a long one.
Oh,
dun dun dun.
You need seatbelts.
I know, right?
Click.
Click. All right. After posting my story on Reddit, I sat on my bed, wiping my tears and telling myself I will not take this disrespect. I walked downstairs, shutting my nursery door on the way out, and I was greeted with everyone's comforting my sister-in-law. I kindly asked everyone besides my sister-in-law and husband to respectfully get the fuck out of my house.
Yes.
After all the dirty looks and shaming, it was just my husband, sister-in-law, and myself. They sat themselves on the couch, not saying anything. I sat with them. The silence felt like forever. None of us had anything to say. I knew I'd have to start the conversation. I looked at my husband and said, "Did you decide?" He looked at me and he's just staring. I asked again in my firm tone this time. He ended up mumbling some sort of insult, and I couldn't really make out what he said. Something with bitchy. I stood up and told them both to get out, and then they wanted to talk, telling me this is all a misunderstanding.
No, it's not.
They're sorry, a blah, a blah, a blah. I grabbed a backpack from my shoe closet and told them to pack their shit. My sister-in-law told me I couldn't just make her leave and I was a horrible person. I laughed in her face and told her that this is my house and I can do whatever I wanted. My husband stood up next to me and told her it was only for a little while. I turned to him and said, "Oh, you two, get out." He got all mad and told me we were a married couple and that this isn't how marriage works. I told him, no, it's not. Marriage is where two people support each other and not treat their wife like shit. They both ended up leaving after many insults towards me. Oh, but wait, it's not over. This morning, I was getting ready for my Zoom meeting with a few other coworkers when my husband showed up. I let him in telling him to get wherever he needed and to go because I had to work. He started apologizing and telling me he wants to make it right. I told him I just need time away from him. Then he threw in my face, Well, it's not my fault you lost our children. Maybe this would have never happened. My sister was right. You are selfish. What? I have never, ever made my husband feel like he cannot grieve with me over this. Never made him feel less than because of his pain. I turned around and slapped him in the face. Ooh. I never condone violence, and I'm very upset I would ever do that to another human, but I just couldn't deal with this. He took a step back and then threw all of my makeup on the floor, which I get, but then he started breaking all of my decor in my bathroom. I yelled at him to stop and that I was sorry, but he just kept going, even as far as punching a hole in the bathroom wall. It was like I was seeing all of his bottled up emotions from our children's death come out, but he went too far when he tried to grab me, yelling in my face. I kicked him off and told him to get the fuck out. He walked out of the bathroom, and I watched him break a few more items as he left. The second he left, I had a panic attack. Looking at the mess he made, even just seeing how much he hid his pain, I called my mother and told her everything, and that has been happening. I don't talk to my family much due to some past trauma with them. She told me she was on her way. The second she got here, I just broke down, and she held me. Then she stood up and started taking pictures of everything he broke. I asked her what she was doing, and she turned to me and said, "We're suing his piece of shit ass." I honestly didn't even argue. I was so hurt by everything my husband did to me. My mom packed up my computer, and I grabbed a few outfits. Mom and I drove to a hotel, and she insisted on staying with me. While I finished up work with my mom, called the locksmith and my attorney, I will be divorcing him. So, there it is. Here's the update everyone is waiting for. I feel guilty for just giving up on my husband in 8 years of marriage, but it's time for a divorce.
You did not give up.
I can't live like this, and neither can my husband. I wish I could say we moved on, forgave each other, and I got to see my sister-in-law and have her baby. That's not the reality. If anything else happens, I will let you know. Thank you guys for the support and help with this situation.
You know, that was... I'm so stunned. I can't
That
speak.
escalated really quickly. Him trying to put her hands on her.
That brought me back to my ex.
Yeah.
That, you know...
Like standing up for yourself, and then they like...
Not
were
even,
like, oh, I don't like this.
not even just that. Not even just that. Something, like, relatively the same happened.
Mhm.
Where I'm like, you're picking a video game over me.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's what happened. He picked a video game over me.
Wow.
Stood up for myself. Something like that happened. I was like, no. And that happened maybe a few days before we hung out, and that's when the whole processing thing happened.
Yeah.
But, like...
Holy shit.
That... No, she did the right thing.
Absolutely.
Never
She did not
feel
give up
guilty.
on her husband.
You did
He
not
gave
give
on
up.
her.
She did not do anything but do what she needed to do.
How is it her fault that she lost the baby?
It's not. It's
you
never
can't
your fault.
control miscarriages and or stillborns. Your body just chooses that for you.
Yeah. You know, it's a will. Whatever you believe in, I'm not pushing it, but it's God's will if you have a miscarriage. It's the universe's will. It's supposed to teach you something. Things happen to teach you something.
Yeah, and it's teaching. It's like
you hear all the time. You hear all the time.
You know what though? It was a blessing that she didn't have a kid.
No, it was.
Her body was telling her that this is
her body rejected him.
Yeah,
we talk about that all the time together.
Rejection.
It's how our bodies were rejecting our exes, and then when we got out of it, our body started changing back to the normal.
Like literally even our face shape.
Yes. Can we like put up pictures of what our faces looked up?
Literally, like you'll see, like my chin looks a lot different.
My face went out,
like puffed,
and went puffy.
Same.
And I didn't like have a chin. I felt like it was very.
I don't even now. I feel like that.
I feel so bad that I finished my wine, but some of those stories were just.
I know. Oh my God! Stop. You're fine. I just don't have to like piss, but I just want to also talk about the fact that it got physical and she slapped him. Okay.
No, defend yourself. 100%. Always defend yourself.
I don't condone violence, just like she said. Slapping him, he should have accountability. She should not have done that. But he said something so out of line that was her general reaction.
Yeah.
She was wrong. That was just not like he's such a big man, you know what I mean? Like she couldn't have hurt him in a way. That was wrong to slap him. And I know he said something out of line, so I just want to like say like I don't condone any like female hitting anybody. I've done it before. I have slapped a man. I don't like it. I have spit at a man. I've done all of that. I don't like it. There was a response.
The only time, and the only time I will lay hands on anyone, in a sense, the only time I've ever done it was in self-defense. That is the only time I will use my hands. Any other time I will use my voice.
Yeah.
And I really lean on that because, one, they can press charges if you go first.
Mm-hmm.
Two, it's not a good look for you, no matter if, like, professionally, non-professionally.
Who is the aggressor here?
Yeah, and sometimes it can just weigh heavy on you.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime I've used physical force has been in self-defense, and it's probably the only thing that got me out of it. And I will always revert to, if this happens, I'm going to use self-defense. I don't care. It's what I needed to do to get out of it.
I just wish the best for this girl.
Me too. No, I think she did the right thing. I think,
this one comment.
Change your locks. Do what you need to do.
Grab your keys. Change your locks.
Get cameras.
Yes.
People the audacity of some people today, like we were just talking about, the audacity of kids, the audacity that is just coming out of people today.
I love audacity, though. You know what I mean?
Some people are just unhinged with the audacity, but
I know. But audacity, too, like there's positive and there's negative audacity, but she has audacity, too.
Yes.
Audacity is that's right. I fucking told you to get the fuck out. And like these have been like, the audacity. Yeah, I got audacity. Shove it up your fucking ass and get the fuck out of my house.
Yes, but get cameras. Get cameras outside because you don't know if he's going to try and break in or something.
And her mom taking her to the hotel was so sweet.
After the fact that she stated that they didn't have a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that she was able to call her mom and her mom come and like put anything aside that was happening or happened.
That's family.
Sometimes blood is thicker than water. Other times it's not.
Yeah. And it's a thing. Your family and your mom will be your mom. She always has love for you, even if she doesn't show it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if she's still like around and she wasn't like an abusive mom, things like that. This comment says, OP, you are already in this relationship alone. The house is yours. You don't need him. Consider that you are still in love or attached to the idea of his best self that only you see. If he has been amazing and perfect, why isn't he choosing to be that for you now? You deserve better. The stress of this relationship could be one of the hindrances to your ability to carry the child you long for. From just what you've written here today, he's clueless. He doesn't stand up for you because it's an inconvenience to him. He's willing to supplement your dreams and hard work for his sister's demands. That's not a good husband. That's not a healthy husband. And in every way possible, this is not a husband showing he loves you and he is always on your side. So you have to be the person you deserve to be. I know everything inside you feels shattered and terrified, and ending this marriage now seems like it will devastate you. It will hurt. It will be awful. But on the other side is happiness you haven't even known before. We're rooting for you. Yeah, I am rooting for you.
I'm not
dare this motherfucker.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I grew up with religious, but I'm not really that way anymore. But like, I have my beliefs. I was just gonna say, like, my heart, my mind goes out to you. I really hope that everything goes well. To anyone in this situation or like relatively close in this situation, it just kind of triggers you in a little bit.
This was 1 year ago. So
that's my heart goes out. I hope she's doing well. I hope she's thriving. I hope she's talking to a new man who treats her the way she deserves.
Man. Like,
even then. Maybe she turned lesbian after that. Maybe she's like, fuck these men, I need women.
A girl and I liked
she liked it too much.
But
like, no, I just think, when people show you their true colors, don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
Really assess, because people will show you their true colors, and then that's when you have to be like, okay, I like this, or okay, I don't.
Yeah, and you can forgive them for like certain actions, but I think this was an unforgivable.
No,
you can't.
You don't go into someone's house. Yes, you do not. You do not break someone's property. That is where you draw the line. That is where you're like, okay, this is not good for me anymore. This is where I'm done.
Yeah.
It should never get to breaking stuff.
No. They shouldn't. And also, there's like a such thing as like reactive abuse too. Like her like getting in his face and yelling at him this probably wasn't the first time that they've had arguments like this, and her like slapping him, that was a reactive abuse. He probably has done something far worse. It seemed like things were already like not great in the beginning when the sister came in, and obviously losing a child really tests you. But I wish the best. We are going to move on.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're going to move on. We're going to process that. All right. The next one is, am I the asshole for leaving a dinner party after a girl sat on my husband's lap?
Oh, I'd push her off like real fast. Just
Ooh, even the title just makes me. Oh my God.
I'm probably going to be hitting
this
penis on my leg a little bit more.
This is a long one. This is a long one. So buckle in. Also, trigger warning for you, Sarah. The husband's name is Jake.
Oh, babe.
Honey, no.
Text her now. I'm like, I'm mad at you.
Did you let a girl sit on your lap?
Watch it be one of
At
my cat,
dinner?
my girl cat. I'm gonna text him and be like, "Is a girl sitting on your lap right now?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, Nala." Get her off.
Oh my God. Okay. I am still in so much shock with everything. So sorry for my rambling. No, we just started like. Okay. My husband, Jake, and I have been married for 3 years, and from the beginning, he was very close with his best friend's sister, Cindy, 18, female. Oh my God. Well, my husband would often talk about her and tell her how he had seen her grow up throughout the years. Cindy is always very bubbly and seems very fond of Jake as well. I know. I found him. I remember when we were dating, she would ask to come along on our dates a lot. I never really said anything, as I like spending time with her as well. She was like a little sister to me. When we announced our engagement, she asked my husband to better not forget her after being a married man, and she still has to hang out with her, or he still has to hang out with her. Well, we got married, and I even made her my bridesmaid. Soon we moved to a different state, and I kind of lost contact. Now, Jake's best friend came to stay with us for some time, and Cindy came along as well. Now, the moment she saw us, the first thing she said was how hot my husband has gotten, and she was glad he didn't look like those boring married men. Then, throughout their stay, Cindy would just ignore my presence and will be way too close with Jake. I told Jake that it was just looking a bit inappropriate and to ask Cindy to tone it down. But he said that Cindy is just a bit childish and is in that way, she's that way with everybody. Oh my God. Well, at their last day, we decided to host a dinner party for everybody. During the party, I was with Jake when Cindy came out and told me, "Oh, I need to steal your husband for a while." And before I could say something, she grabbed Jake's hand and took him to play games. I ignored it since it was their last day, but then throughout the dinner, she was getting way too close with Jake and would just drag him away whenever I would be around while giggling at me. When everybody sat for dinner, I sat beside Jake and Cindy came last. She then said, "Oh, there is no seat for you." And then just went and sat on my husband's lap.
The little bitch.
Oh my God. Everybody was surprised, and Jake said, laughing, "Cindy, stop acting like a kid. You're not a kid anymore." Cindy started laughing, saying it was a joke, and she got up and sat on the other seat while giggling at me. Yeah. I was so angry with the disrespect and with the fact that Jake was so cool with it, but I didn't want to say anything bad. So I excused myself, took my car, and went out. About 1 hour later, Jake called me asking where I was. I told him I am going to my friend's house and I will come after Cindy has left. I know what I did was terrible, but I was so angry at the time that if I had stayed there any longer, I would have probably started fighting or crying. I came the next day and Cindy and her family had left. Jake was very pissed and said I took things way too far. I started crying and told him how everything made me feel. He said I was horrible to think such things about Cindy and that she was like his sister. I told him that I was not doubting his intentions, but I was hurt by how disrespected Cindy's behavior was, and he was enabling her by not saying anything. He started saying that I sound ridiculous and couldn't even tell a joke, referring to the sitting on the lap incident. I said, regardless, I don't want her in my house again. To top it off, Cindy sent a message saying that she was sorry about making me so insecure in myself and that she would make sure to make me feel better, but I should not have left as it was a pretty childish and kind of split thing to the mood. It felt so backhanded I didn't reply anything to her. I told my husband he needs to maintain a distance with Cindy. He asked if I was giving him an ultimatum, and I said if he was to go as far as disregard and disrespect my feelings for Cindy, yes. This really rubbed my husband the wrong way, and he said since I have such a disgusting thought in my mind, and I'm giving him an ultimatum anyways, then he might as well just leave, because he cannot live with such an insecure person who has such a disgusting thoughts about him. He packed a bag and left to his mother's place. I have tried apologizing numerous times, telling how sorry I am for everything, but he's ignoring my texts and calls. Oh, that's now you're saying sorry. Later, Cindy's brother texted me and called me a bunch of names to think that about his sister, saying Jake should just leave me and a disgusting person like me, and he deserves to be alone. I could not stop crying after that. I don't know how to fix this. Is there a way to even come back? Was I wrong to deserve this? I don't know anymore. There's an update too, but that's like first.
You know, I was so close to throwing this.
Why was she saying sorry?
No.
Why, now that he's getting mad, now she needs to make sure that he's better. So now he did something wrong. She stood up for herself. He's now mad. She's realizing that he's mad, realizing that he's not going to come back. Can't sit down like an adult to have a conversation. And now she's saying sorry to make him come back, and he's still not receptive to. Oh my fucking God!
Divorce. No,
you can't.
sorry.
Everybody on Reddit does that.
I know.
Divorce.
No,
but like yeah.
No, I would say couples counseling. You need
1,000%. And Cindy needs to kick the fucking curb.
You know, my Jake, I love you, babe, has so good boundaries with people, and he's a quiet person himself. And I don't, you know, he is always there for a good time. He knows when a joke's a joke and when it's not, and he has boundaries with people, and he does not let them, you know, push forward. If it's a boundary, it's a boundary. You don't pass it. Yeah. And that's one of the things I do love about him. And I'm like, I never have to worry.
Yeah, same.
Because he knows that...
Don't push my boundaries.
Don't do it.
Point blank, period.
And...
This was completely... Oh my God. First of all, do we need to really sit here and say that my boundary is I really would prefer that another woman does not sit on your lap? My dick is there. Yes, I did say my dick. That's my penis, okay? Ain't no other woman gonna be sitting anywhere near it. I don't know what the fuck. We should not have to. Why should we have to preface by saying that?
It gives me. They were hooking up before they got married and moved, and they have been, not to her knowledge, but they have been talking behind her back.
Yes,
that's
like emotional cheating after that.
Yes.
Those like men who want to like keep the woman around they've slept with just to have some type of like
emotional connection.
Boost. Yeah. Oh, it's disgusting.
But it I fully believe men and women can be friends without anything sexual.
Yes. Yep.
I know a lot of men don't feel that way.
My boyfriend doesn't feel like that, but because he has a sexy ass girlfriend.
my my man, he my man. But I love him, but you know, he trusts me enough to communicate with other men. I don't choose to because I don't like. I have my people. My people are my people. My family are my family. Like I communicate with them. I don't feel like I need to expand on that.
Yeah, you don't have to. It's your family. But when it comes to fucking so like I have a male friend. His name is Evan. You guys know who Evan is. He's helped me a lot with this podcast.
Evan.
Yeah, I love Evan. He's so great. He's amazing. And we are very purely friends. We have never been anything more.
That's me and my friend Matt.
Like, you know what I mean?
Shout
like
out,
he's
Matt.
just genuine. Yeah, Matt. What's up, Matt?
What's up, my bro?
And Trevor knows that. Trevor actually likes Evan. They get along. They talk about sports. And there's never been any problems. But if I were to sit and try to be friends with like someone who I had slept with, I don't think I'd be able to do it. I don't believe in the fact that if you have had sex with them and they are still in your circle like that close, I just like no. I still have people on my Snapchat that I've had sex with, but I don't talk to them. I don't.
No, yeah,
like,
no. I
here. You know what I mean?
Like me and Matt. Matt and I should say that's proper English. So sorry.
I don't have proper English.
Matt and I, we have been friends for a while. I met him through an ex actually, and we went to college together. We hung out all the time. Like we were the only two people that we knew on campus, and we kind of built a friend group around that.
That's nice.
And then when I left college and he stayed, I would go up for different events. Like I would go spend the night, and like we were that way, like brother sister. Never ever. Like I even asked him point blank at one point. I was like, "Would you ever with me?" And he goes, "No, no, I don't see you that way. I don't find you that much attractive. Like yes, you're attractive, but not to me."
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
and he is a nice looking guy. Like anyone else, I'd be like, "Hey, go look at my friend Matt. He cute." But like not to me in that way.
Is he single?
Yes.
Hey, lady,
Hey.
is he single?
he was the cutest guy. Like not in the
No, like
I'm not saying physical,
personality.
but like personality. He's
Yeah.
funny. He's so personal, but he like to be around. Like he's great. When Jake and I got together,
would you allow him to sit on your lap, or would you sit on his
oh
lap
no,
in front of your
there was a time where like we would go to parties together, and
Mhm.
like if a guy was talking to me and I didn't like it,
Mhm.
me and Matt had an agreement, or like the same vice versa with him. If like it was a girl talking to him and he didn't want to talk to her, we would pretend to be together.
Mhm.
I have kissed him on the cheek, and like that has happened. Yes, I disclosed that with Jake. That like
Yeah.
that was
Jake, not this Jake.
not nope. Separate. No, I disclosed that to Jake when we got together, and like I introduced Matt to him, and Jake expressed like he was uncomfortable with that. Like he would want me to. He was happy that I disclosed it to him, that I was being honest, but it made him uncomfortable. I was like, okay. Now there is a space between me and Matt, which so sorry, babe. Like still love you. Like I'm happy where
but
he
it's
is.
an
But
appropriate
like,
space.
it's
You are following
appropriate.
your partner's boundaries, and obviously this wasn't.
I'm not gonna
followed.
push it. I'm not gonna push it.
Do you want the update?
Yeah, I guess.
Edit. People who are asking our ages, we're 25 years old. We're just months apart. They're only 25. Girl, leave.
I'm like your age range, babe. Goodbye. You have options. You have options. You do not need to marry the first thing you see. Sorry.
Leave very demurely and move on. Update. Mm-hmm. Thank you all for responding and people who gave me good advices and personal messages. I couldn't read all of the comments, but now I know my feelings are valid and boundaries were crossed by Cindy. Now, during the dinner, there was Cindy and her brother, Sean, and his girlfriend, and their cousin, Derek, also a good friend of my husband, with his boyfriend. So I called Derek and asked about the situation and what happened after I left. He was sympathetic, and he said that after I left, at first they thought I would come back after some time. However, things were really awkward. But when I didn't come, Sean's girlfriend told Cindy that she was so disrespectful for doing that. Derek and his boyfriend also said the same thing. To this, Cindy started crying, saying that they didn't have to corner her and attack her over a silly joke, and that she didn't know it would get out of hand. She then left the room while crying. Jake didn't know what to say, and everybody left early the next day. Derek also told that Cindy has always had issues with boundaries, and when he introduced his boyfriend to everybody, Cindy would get close and would joke that she was just checking if he was really gay.
That's even okay.
God.
To gay people out there, that is so disrespectful. Do not take that. That is not funny.
So
don't ever.
They were really uncomfortable with it as well, so Derek confronted her, to which Cindy rolled her eyes and said they can't take a joke, and eventually stopped. She's just a fucking pick-me girl.
Yes. That's what it was.
This all sounds so bizarre. I don't know what's going on with Cindy. Sean's girlfriend also texted me saying she was sorry for what happened. I told him how Sean's message was inappropriate, but she had no idea about the text. So I sent her a screenshot and asked her to tell Sean to not harass me again. She was very apologetic and said she would talk to him. Now, my mother-in-law called and asked what was going on, as Jake didn't tell her and only said we had an argument. I was a bit confuzzled and hesitant to tell this, but eventually told everything. She was furious at my husband. She said that they were coming to having a talk. So, yeah, I'm just waiting for them to arrive, and I'm really nervous. I don't know what I did or what was right, what was wrong, but we'll see. As for the people saying my husband is some pedo or they are having an affair, I know this is the furthest from the truth. I never questioned his intentions, but what hurt was the lack of respect from Cindy towards me. So you're not even blaming your husband? Is your husband standing up for you? No? I don't see anywhere in here him standing up for you.
Not even him standing up for her, him standing up for himself in his marriage.
Literally.
You are not
oh my fucking God.
Making healthy boundaries for your marriage, my guy. You are married. That is the only person you should have on your fucking lap or be holding hands with, for one.
It's a kid.
Unless it's a kid, yes.
I swear to God, if that was my
Okay.
man, and a woman sat on his lap, he would have fucking literally catapulted her whole
I'm
fucking
sure.
body in the air and whipped her. Oh my God.
I'm sure if I went to grab your man's hand
Yeah.
and like pull him away,
Mhm.
he would probably let go and then follow me.
Yes. Like, be like, oh no, we don't do that. And we move forward. Oh my God.
Jake too.
Yeah.
Like the
I'm
only
gonna touch her.
like my mom has given like him a hug or like
That's
guided him
normal.
to sit down. He has let that happen. That's
Yeah.
my mom.
Yeah.
She's not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
She has my dad to do something with. But let's say my sister, she's only 2 years younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
If my sister did that, which she never would, she's so type A and like not like that.
Not a pick me?
No,
This
so
girl's
sorry.
fucking
I'm
crazy.
so sorry, babe. Like to my sister, but she's definitely asexual. Like she's not attracted.
those
She's just not
feelings.
attracted to people like that.
Yeah.
But she's adventuring. I'm happy for her. She's going out there and seeing what she likes.
Yeah.
But if she did that to my man, Jake would probably be like, okay, like
Questioning
weird,
it.
like
questioning it. It's the point of that. He did not question it.
Mm-mm. He didn't say anything.
He sat
He
there
let it happen.
silent. That's
He
what
let
that Derek guy just
happen.
said.
Goodbye.
Fuck out of here. There's an update number 2.
We can get an annulment.
Oh my God. Update number 2, y'all. I know this is a long story, so stay tuned. Okay. So my mother-in-law came with my husband, and well, the talk happened. There were a lot of things, but I will try to summarize. Basically, Jake apologized to me first and tried to explain his point of view. He said that he was angry because A, I left without saying anything for the whole night when he was literally trying to just diffuse the situation and tried to laugh it off because it was so awkward. He didn't even know what else to do. But instead of communicating, I just left him in that weird situation. He was meeting his friends after such a long time and just wanted the dinner to be peaceful. And Cindy was going back anyways and would most likely never meet her again. B, he acknowledged Cindy was indeed overstepping boundaries that he didn't know how to bring up since he has literally seen her growing up and she's like a little sister to him. Also, she acts like that with everyone. Then why are you keeping her around?
That's not a fucking excuse, guy.
He thought that it was just for a few days and he wanted no drama during their stay, so he would just brush it off. He did acknowledge he was wrong about not saying anything. C, he was already really worried and sad because how I just left with no explanation. Even after I came, not once I asked how did I ask how he felt. I was also very overwhelmed with everything, and I felt I was accusing him for not doing anything when he literally pushed her off as politely as possible when she tried to sit. He felt I was attacking his character and even gave the ultimatum, which made him so sad as he felt if I thought less of him. It wasn't about Cindy, but about how easy it was for me to question his sincerity. He said after the dinner he was going to go extremely. I don't know what this fuck is saying. D, he apologized for not speaking up about the disrespect Cindy was showing towards me for also leaving like that. And after Jake said everything, my mother-in-law explained to Jake about the situation from her perspective. She scolded him a lot as well. In short, she told him that as a husband, it was his responsibility to make me feel like I am his priority and that she is disappointed in him. And the moment I had to come back to him to ask for establishing boundaries. As a husband, it was his duty that I never would have to come to him about this in the first place. She would also ask him how he would have felt that if it had been a guy on my lap, and he had no answer to it. She told him how what I did was an eruption of suppressed feelings, and then that as a husband was his duty to go after me and never let me leave in the first place. Facts. There were a lot of things said by her, and Jake seemed to realize and sincerely apologize for his action. She told him if he ever pulled such a stunt ever again, then to not expect her to take him in. Later, she took me for a walk. It was just the two of us, and there she explained some things to me as well. She said that she is so sorry for everything, but told me even though that her and Jake, she was so distraught with Jake's behavior. She was so distraught. He didn't tell her because he most likely knew he was wrong too, but was overwhelmed about everything as well. She said she is in no way excusing her son's behavior, but would hope that I would forgive him. She also said that in no circumstances I need to leave my house, as it was my house and my family. She said I shouldn't be afraid in speaking my mind if anything makes me uncomfortable, and to talk to her if Jake does something stupid again, and she will set him straight. She hoped we would work it out, since she has seen our love for each other, and it would be so sad to see us split up due to some disrespectful brat, her words. She said she cannot have a say in our issues, but suggested that we should get counseling to understand each other better. Mm-hmm. She even bought ice cream for me. I know it's a bit childish, but she's so sweet with these things. She likes to work her charm when people are upset. And, well, she's right. Well, it's awkward at night. Jake came to our room, and we didn't know what to say. After a while, we talked and both apologized to each other. However, I did tell that I was angry at him to tell everything to Sean and was so deeply hurt by the text he sent me. He said he didn't know what I was talking about, and I showed him the text. He said he didn't tell Sean about our fight and only told him that he was at my mom's place. He called Sean, and, well, it turns out Sean told Cindy and told her how she went too far at the party. Then Cindy made a huge sob story about how I was passive-aggressive with her the whole time, how I would always try to question her character and act insecure and jealous. She even went on to say that I was always like that with her, even when she was a kid, and that I never liked her and always tried to manipulate people into thinking I was an angel while she was a slut. Well, that made him angry to think how I have been treating Cindy, and he sent those texts. Jake and I were baffled by such accusations, and he tried to explain to Sean how it wasn't true, but then Jake just let it be and decided to go no contact with Cindy, and extremely lack of respect for Sean. Jake apologized again, and we just cuddled and slept. Well, Cindy is out of our lives for good now, and we have decided to go to counseling for better communication in the future. Let's see how everything goes in the future. But yeah, we are not getting divorced. I know a lot of you people wanted me to show Jake this post, but he was so sad. Got scolded a lot already, so I decided not to show him for now. Maybe in the future. Sorry for all this rambling. Have a good night. Edit. I read people saying we should be no contact with Sean too, and I felt that it would be best to let that friendship go as well. So I talked to my husband about it, and he agreed. So he sent a text to Sean stating we could not be friends with him, and then blocked him as well. To clarify, I have somewhat forgiven Jake for his actions, but I told him he needs to rebuild the trust I had. So I know I can rely on him in situations like that. He agreed, and we will get couples counseling as well. Thank you all for the advice. You all made me feel less lonely in all of this. Wow, let's take a breath. That was a little long.
That was a long.
The mother-in-law.
That's like a happy ending.
The mother-in-law.
Oh,
the mother-in-law.
Okay, it's never childish to buy some ice cream because I will stock my freezer full with ice cream if I really wanted to. That is
so sweet.
No,
I
it's so comforting.
Wish I had a mother-in-law that was like my mother-in-law is not supportive, but she wouldn't have like sat down like with us. Like anytime she would get involved, it would be like a drama fest, and like she most likely would take like her son's side.
No,
but in this, like she's not taking her. Like
I honestly, I know Jake's mom. You know, she's such a sweetheart. She's so cute.
And they get you gifts and stuff.
Yes.
So besides that,
they are so. You know, I've never really had, you know, parents of my significant other like really be involved. They are. His dad is so nice and so sweet. They really carve out time for me and Jake. Mm. They take us on dates together. Like, they're so nice. And they check up on me, not just Jake, when we're out. And, you know, they're so involved. And I know if this happened with me and Jake or something like happened where I felt like I needed to reach out to someone and I couldn't, for whatever reason, reach out to my parents, I know I could reach out to Jake's mom
and like get their opinion and it actually be valid and it not be like, oh, my son's like an angel and he can never do anything wrong.
They are so like they're like Switzerland. They're like Switzerland. I can't.
You're so lucky to have that like type of like relationship, and also your partner has like a mom and a dad, right? They're still together.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know that feeling. I just know that he has like a mom, and he's definitely. I wouldn't say like a mama's boy, but she's definitely like kind of helicoptery, and like her son's an angel. But he like she can be like, hey, like you can't act like that. Like you Trav, like you need to be better.
I mean, my ex was one of 7 with a mom.
Were you really close to your ex's mom?
I was. Like she was super sweet and like
smoke with her and stuff.
Yeah, we would hang out all the time. Like I would go over to her house without my ex and like hang out with her. And she was the one who gave me my babies, my Nala and Ash, my little cats. Aww. But
she's a cat lady, guys.
I love them. Anyways, hi babies, I'm on TV. I was really sad because when she knew me and my ex were coming to an end, she was like, I'll always be here. Like, you're always my daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
Like, she was really into
We
me
really
as
have
a
to go no
person.
contact at that point.
But she was the first one to go no contact. She didn't even like give me an explanation.
Yeah.
After she literally said,
You chose her son?
if this is your choice, you're still part of the family. But
She's probably just trying to
and
please
every
you.
time I came with her like to her for a problem, she never really fully grasped the
The
situation.
seriousness of it.
And then I also felt like I couldn't tell her how serious it was getting. So I don't think she grasped like why I felt like I needed to tell her. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, she probably it
was her first son too.
Yeah,
she was
like-
15 when she had him.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, if his behavior, like, look at his behavior, right? His
Yeah.
behavior, his life trap is entitlement. He thinks he's entitled because his mom has treated him like the be all end all angel of everything. You can't do anything wrong, and if you do something wrong, I'm gonna make your significant other feel validated. But actually, on the low, I'm gonna be like, you were right. I was just trying to like tell her to shut the fuck up, and then he's gonna continue to do his behavior.
Yeah. And
Absolutely absurd.
no,
And like this situation for this like
It's really
particular
sad.
woman, it's horrible. Like, I understand you that you want to help, you want to counseling for better communication and blah 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 blah. But guess what? In the beginning of her relationship, she stated that that Cindy's like behavior wasn't too great, and you didn't take that into accountability. And then here we are now, after you have you're married and things like that, and you're not watching Cindy's behavior properly, because the women in your life are very important, no matter who they are, whether they're family or friends. Watch their behavior. Watch who they are.
same with men.
Yes,
I don't even
absolutely.
think we should just generalize it to
People, who's in your life?
a gender.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
it should just be the people.
Yeah.
Because it could be a man, it could be a woman,
Whoever
it
you
could be a
surround
he,
yourself
she,
with.
it could be anyone. It could be a fucking dog.
Yeah.
Okay?
Diamond barking in the background.
She's like, let my Auntie Sarah out.
I know. Yeah. She's gonna go crazy over you.
No, but it could be anyone. It could be a grandma, it could be an aunt, it could be a cousin, it could be anyone.
Yeah.
And always, like, I don't want to always say be on the offense and then be on the defense. Like, I never want to say that, but like, you have to watch people.
No, you can be on both the offense and the defense.
Yes.
Life is a football team, quite literally.
Yeah.
There's flags, there's penalties, there's trials and errors, there's everything, and everything all comes down to the idea of that we all have to continue to process our feelings, we continue to process our thoughts, process all these things that goes on in our life.
Everything's a process.
Yes. And also respect the process. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and this is this is why we named it this, because everything's a process.
Like, everything's a process, guys. And
if something says it's processing, honey.
Yeah. And if your body is telling you like, oh, this isn't right, just process it. Yeah, and eat processed food, hot dogs.
I hate hot dogs, and Natalie knows this.
Yeah. You guys know what hot dogs are made out of? Gooks and guts of animals. Anyways, so I know that you guys have been waiting. This is a very long episode, but at the end of every episode, I do have the sex toy of the week. So I'm going to be reviewing the sex toy of the week with Sarah here. In this lovely box. Drum roll. I will pin a picture up here for you guys. This is one of my favorite brands. I can't get this open properly.
Let's not leave it on your living
room.
Let's
not
like that
leave
one,
it. Let's not leave it on the thing. The couch. Okay.
Ooh.
So this is a small bullet vibrator. It is so cutesy dootsy.
Actually, you can put it in a vase. No one will know.
Literally, it's like a little flower, like for Valentine's Day. You guys can hear that vibing.
I like how we make direct eye contact.
It has multiple settings. It is great. So if you are one for clitoral stimulation, like myself, this is the toy for you.
I just found that out recently. I was exploring.
Look, it has like a little ridge. You're good. It has like a little ridge thing here. And it is amazing. I will pin it up. But for coming on my podcast, this toy is for you.
I'm gonna cry. Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm getting all jittery inside. My eyes are watering. Hold on.
I love gifting sex toys. I do it a lot. I have not used this, of course. This is brand new. Like,
I was
if
gonna
you could see
say,
this, like, what the
are
fuck?
you
I
gonna
would never.
swatch?
No, because I don't want to lose my labia majora and then get infected.
I'm gonna lose my. We can just swap.
You want to swap labia majoras and do the what do we say, the if it's amputated and we can get a transplant.
Transplant your labia majora.
We're a labia majora donors. So this is for you. Take it home. Tell me how it is. It's really, I forgot the price, but I will pin it up here. That's one of my favorite toys. I have a lipstick vibrator that's very similar to that. It just like looks like a lipstick. It's more like you could put it in your purse type of thing. Well, that one you can't really like put in your purse. You'll know. But happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you.
Giving you all my love.
Oh my god.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I love doing this.
Me too. Was it fun?
Yes.
She's my first person that's like been here like in person. As you guys know, like I usually have like guests on the screen, and it's kind of nice to have like a human body in the room with me.
Well, also because most of our conversation is really like physical touch sometimes. Like when we're laughing, we grab each other.
Yeah, it's like brah. You know, like, we say thing at the same time.
Yes.
And we're like,
are we like
she's not dead or whatever?
She's not dead. And we start.
She's not dead. Yeah.
Like
It's
a lot
nice.
of our communication
Yeah.
is very physical touch, and that kind of made it a little bit better.
Yeah.
But we also vibe on the same vibe.
You're vibing with that vibrator.
Girl, I'm gonna text you right after and be like, girl, I was vibing.
tell me, process it, and then tell me how it went.
I'm gonna text you while I'm
I know. God, it's so good. It's gonna be like all these typos, and you're gonna like, make a Reddit story and be like, sorry for all these typos. I'm using a vibrator at this time. Oh my god.
I forgot to turn it off.
You can also use it on your significant other's tip and their gooch and their balls. It is wonderful. I'm telling you right now, just try it out. That has 3 settings, I think 3 or 4 settings on it. It's great. Just completely blow his mind tonight.
I'm coming home.
Leave him still processing.
Honey.
Comes home, throws the toy on the couch. You ready?
You ready for this?
Ready to get your shit rocked? Anyways, thank you so much. Yeah, I love you.
I love you.
Okay. All right, we need to pose. Ready?
Oh god.